Part 1. Jonathan had been through a grueling work week and was ready to relax and have a great time with his girlfriend. But when she answered the door, he was in for a surprise. She didn't give him a hug or a kiss, not even a smile. When he asked what was wrong, she complained about how busy he was and that she barely saw him. A little annoying, but it was gratifying to know that she was thinking about him. To make it up to her, he offered that wherever she wanted to go and do tonight, he was all for it. He could be patient. They went to her favorite restaurant and he took her shopping. Jonathan was hoping by now that she'd be ready for some fun, but she mentions that there's some kind of circus in town, and since her friend couldn't make it, they should go together. Well, he did say he was up for anything. She seemed really excited before she went to go change. When she came out, she looked like a sexy dark fairy. She went on and on about how excited she was, and really he was just hoping he could convince her to keep the costume on for later. He really should have paid more attention to what she was saying about this circus. He'd felt like he was walking through a giant haunted house, which he didn't care much for, but at least there weren't any kids and there was plenty of eye candy. She, on the other hand, was like a kid in a candy store and practically dragged him to the main tent where he paid for their tickets, got seated and waited for the show to start. Part 2. Jonathan was ready to call it a night. The music was giving him a headache and he was completely out of his comfort zone. Then the lights dimmed, a hypnotic song started to play, and a spotlight showed a voluptuous figure with strings attached to their body and whose head was obscured by darkness. Her body comes to life as if she'd been frozen in time and slithers to the center of the stage. There are others dancing and flying around her, but Jonathan only had eyes for her. She was graceful, commanding his attention, and he hadn't even seen her face yet. The spotlight widened to reveal a cube atop her head. Two men carrying what seemed to be pitchers bathed her in a red liquid, and he swore he could hear her voice call out in ecstasy. After the show ended, he knew deep in his gut that he had to have her. Part 3. It wasn't hard to convince his girlfriend to go on without him and that he'd catch up soon. He flashed some cash to get backstage and was eventually led to what he believed to be the woman's dressing room, but she was nowhere in sight. When he asked about her whereabouts, the man that led him there gave him a strange smile and led him further into the room to a set of grand curtains. Oddly ceremonious, he seemed to bow slightly before opening the curtains to reveal the one he'd come all this way to see, but he is deeply confused. The man confides in him that he is not the first to be convinced that she was alive and that there was no shame in desiring her. But as Jonathan looked upon her figure, shame was the farthest thing from his mind. He felt disappointment, but his desire for her remained. He asked how much he wanted for her, and at first the man protested, so he threw out a number. The man got quiet, so he turned around only to see his eyes glazed over as he looked at her. He shook himself out of it and finally agreed to do business with him.